Hi, I'm Cristy Calderon, and you're listening and watching the Community Leaders Podcast.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS. You are listening and watching the Community Leaders Podcast. And today, I'm going to mess up right now because she just told me her name and not to say Cristy. But her last name is Calderon. Calderon. How you doing?
I'm okay. You?
I am good. So it's Cristy
Calderon.
Calderon.
Yes.
See, I be botching people's names. And literally you just told me, we just talked about this. And I did it anyways. So how are you doing today?
I'm okay. It's been a long day, but very excited to be here.
Oh, I love that you're here. You got a big smile on your face. And I was tired until I saw that big smile. And we're gonna do this today. We're gonna do this today.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. All right, cool. So tell us a little about yourself. What do you do for work right now?
Right now, I work for the government for the city of Chicago. I work for Alderman Rodriguez in the 22nd Ward. Mm-hmm. I'm the Constituent Services Director.
Mm-hmm. And what does that entail?
That entails talking to constituents every day, following up with our coordinators at the office, making sure that we're all on top of our cases, and that we're providing the best service to the 22nd Ward in our community.
Okay, so what could be, now I'm curious, so what could be a case? Because you're working on cases. It's like, is this like resident complaints and stuff like that? Or what is those cases looking like?
We see everything in the office. Every day looks different. Sometimes we have cases of people who did not know that they had a water leak and now they have a $7,000 water bill. Or we can also see something like someone just needs a letter to be translated. Okay.
That's interesting you say that because I feel like you grabbed that first one about the water leak because something like that happened.
Yeah, that's the case I'm currently working on.
So what does the alderman or the office do when there is a case like that? There's a leak somewhere, and the landlord of that building is saying, "Wait a second, we don't use that much water. Something's going on. How do you help?"
What we do is reach out to the Department of Water Management directly, since we have contacts there, and see what we're able to do for them in collaboration with their department.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the constituent is able to, solve that issue.
Mm-hmm. Does that solve an issue about payment?
Sometimes it does not. Unfortunately, sometimes they do have to pay that, but what we can do is help them set up a payment plan.
Okay. I'm just asking because I am a landlord too, so I'm like, if that happens to me, what do I do?
Check your water meter.
Check the water meter. That's good. I'm a new landlord. I've only been a landlord for maybe 4 years now, and I'm still new at like figuring things out with the building. So I own a building, the water heater or the water pipes or whatever else. I'm like, what is this? I'm always calling somebody. So but it's always good to know that there is an alderman because we have an alderman here too. Her name is Ruth Diaz, I believe. It's Ruth Diaz. It's good to know that I could go to her and say, look, this is what happening in my building. How can you help me? What about the taxes? People always complain about taxes.
Yeah, people always complain about taxes. What we can do is check for them to see if they have all their discounts, their exemptions, especially for seniors. A lot of seniors live on a fixed income, and we try to check that they have all their exemptions and that they don't know anything, and if they do, get on an affordable payment plan. But that's with the county, with Cook County, but we can help them too. Okay. So if there was a 51-year-old man that had a building and was trying to find some help with some taxes, is there any exceptions for a person that is that age or only for seniors? There's a homeowner exemption. That exemption is for people who are the owner of the home and live at that home.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Is there a deadline for that? Probably, right?
You can apply for it, and then if you haven't applied for it before, you can get a certificate of error, which is when you get like a refund or credits to your account.
Let's go. I'm glad you're here today. Let's go. I need some credits.
We can check after this.
I need some credits, man. Help a brother out. Okay, cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Why did you get into this work that you're in now?
I was born and raised in Little Village to immigrant parents from a small town in Durango, Mexico called Gabriel Hernandez, more commonly known as Mancinas. So shout out to all my Durango people.
Hey, Durango.
And growing up in Little Village, I saw the way our community looked and the way you could tell it was disinvested. And I did not know what I could do to help. I just knew I wanted to help. So I went to college. I studied communications. I thought I would be like a news reporter or something like that. And I wanted to report on Little Village and bring light and report about the positive things that happen in Little Village. Because yes, bad things happen, but bad things happen everywhere, not just in Little Village.
That's right. That's true.
Unfortunately, the media does focus on all the bad things.
Yeah, once in a while they might see a little kid running around the park. Look at that little kid, but look at that shooting over there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So how is Little Village doing now? Now that you're in there, you're working, you're talking to the people who live there. How is it now? I know there's a lot of things moving around in Little Village. There's a lot of people moving in. There's people moving out. How's that looking over there right now?
A lot of people talk about gentrification in Little Village. I think our community is fighting it. I think younger people, younger Latinos are moving in. They're staying in their family homes. They're fighting it. Like, this is our community. You're not going to push us out.
So Little Village is from what street to what street?
Costner to, I want to say, Whipple. The 26th Street corridor is 26th and Costner all the way to 26th and Whipple, I believe.
Okay, so it's that whole area going straight up and down, going east and west, correct? Okay, cool. And they have the Little Village sign.
Yes.
Right. And I love that. I love that sign. When you pass by, and you see that sign, you know you're about to eat some really good food.
Yes. Anywhere you go, you're gonna get some good
food.
food.
Some good food, some good people, some really humble people.
Yes.
And they're gonna feed you until you blow up. That's awesome. So, were you like this as a younger girl? Like when you were 10 years old, were you thinking about doing something like this, or at 10 years old you're just still playing with toys or whatnot? Or did you see your community as, no, I want to do something?
Both. I was playing with toys and I was thinking, when I grow up, I want to do all these amazing things for my community. How can I do all these things?
Yeah. I kind of felt that. I knew it was toys, but I kind of felt like...
It was Barbies.
Yeah. Usually people that do community work been thinking about it for a very, very long time. And sometimes it was when they were very young. So I kind of felt like, that's why I asked you the question.
Yeah.
What was it, the Barbies or the toys or the community work? And of course there was Barbies. Which one was your favorite Barbie?
I had a Barbie from one of the movies. I think it was The Princess and the Pauper.
Okay.
And it was the one in the white dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're pretty good because you knew that right away. You
Yes.
have to think about it. I'll just say Malibu Barbie. Awesome. I mean, I didn't play with Malibu Barbie. Just want to put that out there. I just thinking about whatever.
It's okay if you did. No judgment here.
Let's just pass that by. Let's just walk by that one. So that was 10 years old. So around who were you at 10 years old? So you're thinking about the community as you were playing with your Barbie. But who were you other than that girl that wants to do something for the community? What were you doing? What were your friends or family? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Your parents are together. How's that look like? How's your home life look like?
Yeah, my parents are together still. Thank God. I know.
Hallelujah.
A lot of people aren't.
Yes.
I saw a meme once that was like, "Oh, your parents are together. How vintage."
How vintage.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a T-shirt. That's definitely a T-shirt.
Yeah, they're still together. Thank God. I have a little sister, and by little sister, I mean she's like 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
So we grew up very close. She's one of my besties.
Awesome.
Yeah, her name is Tanya. Very lucky to have her.
Okay. So just one sister.
Just one sister.
No brothers.
No brothers.
You and your father and your mother.
And my sister.
And of course, your sister. And you guys all grew up in Little Village.
Yes.
So what grammar school did you go to?
I went to Joseph E. Gary Grammar School, and we're currently in the process of renaming the school because Joseph E. Gary was not a great person.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that person. What did that person do?
There was a workers' like riot way back in the day, like in the 20s or something. And someone threw a bomb. There were, I want to say, Eastern European immigrants who happened to be there, and he sent them all to jail, and he like executed some of them without trials. When there was trials, he handpicked the judges.
Wow. Yeah. So he set it all up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Very unfair situation.
Yeah. So now they're trying to change the name. How's that going? Is it hard to change a name of a school?
It is. It's a long process. Lots of community meetings. Lots of organizing. Like right now, we're gonna have a press conference to inform the community that this is happening and that our kids in our community deserve to go to a school with a name that sounds like theirs.
Okay.
With the name of someone who was a good person.
Okay. Now I'm wondering, did you guys pick a person already?
We did. So in the committee, we voted for Marcos Munoz, who worked with Cesar Chavez.
Okay. What is the history, real briefly, what's the history behind that person?
He worked with Cesar Chavez to organize like workers' rights and bringing more fair conditions to the fields.
Okay. And by the fields, you mean what exactly? The fields?
Like grapes and I don't know.
The workers.
Yes.
The farmers.
The farmers. Yes,
Yeah,
there you go.
I was trying to lead you. I was trying to lead you that way.
Yes, that.
Okay, cool. So you went to that school as a child, had some fun. You had a lot of friends when you were a kid. So you went to high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to back in the day it was in Uno school. I think it's called Acero now. It's a charter school.
Okay. So you went there for all 4 years?
Yeah, I went there all 4 years.
How were those 4 years in high school?
Oh my God, they were great. I had a blast.
So who were you back then? Were you still thinking community work, or were you thinking, I'm having a blast, I love high school?
So I was thinking community work. At the time, I was like, I want to be a lawyer. I think I would be a great lawyer. But I'm also very passionate about fashion.
Okay.
So in my head, I was always like, community work, fashion, I don't know. I love both. And now I say that I serve my community in style.
In style. That's good. I like that.
Trademark pending.
Okay. So that was high school, right? Family's doing good. Everybody's together. College, because you did say you went to college.
Yeah, I went to college.
Which one?
I went to Harold Washington Community College. Yeah. And then I went to East West University.
East West University. Where's that at?
That's on the South Loop 9th and Wabash.
So what was your major?
Communications.
Okay. So in both schools or communications?
Yes, in both schools. Okay. College was hard though.
You went from man, this is hard.
No, yeah. After I graduated from my 2-year at the community college, it was time to enroll in a 4-year and finish my degree. But my dad was not very into the idea. Unfortunately, he was like, "Well, you should open like a salon. You should do nails. You should do makeup." Like, why go to school? That's not necessary. And I was like, well, I want to go to school because I have bigger plans.
Yeah. So you had the old school mentality of, you could be this powerful woman, but you could be this powerful woman in this lane.
And my mom was like, hell no, she's going to school.
Power to the women.
Yes.
Power to the women. That's awesome. So you went to that school. You got out of college, and where did you start working right away?
So I did start working right out of college. I was very lucky. I think I was out of college for like 2-3 weeks, and I found a job at a nonprofit in Little Village called the Foundation of Little Village. And I started as an administrative assistant there. What they do is entrepreneurship programming and wraparound services for businesses in the community. So I started learning about businesses in my community and how a lot of them are disinvested, but they push through. And sometimes they open those businesses because that's their only option. We're an immigrant community. Not everyone gives them jobs, and they have to keep that business open to put food on the table.
Right. It's not like we have farms like really close by or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of hard for the immigrant community to find a job other than a factory job, because that's where usually us Latinos go to.
Yeah.
I think that was ingrained in us. Like, either you go to college or you go work at the factory. And you were like what you said, hell no.
Yeah.
You got other plans. So how well did you do there, and what exactly did that look like?
I learned so much at the foundation of Little Village. I loved my job, but it was time to move on. Not for any bad reason, but sometimes you stop learning and you want something new. But I did learn so much about the business community, about just Little Village in general. After a couple of months as an admin, I moved on to program manager.
Okay.
Because they do entrepreneurship programming, and they have 3 different programs, and then I started managing those programs, and I loved it. I really did love that job. I think about it all the time. I'm great friends with the staff. My boyfriend works there.
Oh, that's why you know who works there. Everybody works there.
One of my best friends, she was she started as our intern, and now she's one of my best friends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So give me a memory in that place that you like so much, where you can say you helped out that community or that organization. Do you have a memory like that?
I have a lot. I think just knowing that people had someone they could talk to in their language that could help them find the resources they needed. Someone who went above and beyond for them, with them. That's like my favorite memory.
Okay.
Knowing that there's, like how we say in Spanish, un granito de arena.
Yeah.
That I put my granito de arena in my community, and their businesses are thriving. Some of them aren't, and they decided, you know what, this isn't for me. But that's also powerful, knowing that it wasn't something for them and they had to take a step back.
Yeah. So you're finding that people are not getting the help that they need because there's a language barrier.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's a big gap in Little Village.
Because they never learned English, or they're freshly in the city of Chicago?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
And I think that's why I work the job I work now, because similarly, I want to make government accessible for people that could be our grandparents who might not know how to read or write, or they might not know the language, knowing that they can go to an office that will help them with their needs, no matter how big or small.
Yeah.
And that they can talk to someone in their language and they'll understand.
I think that's dope. That's really needed in any community. If it's a Spanish community, if it's a Asian community,
100%.
in any community that is needed, because sometimes when let's say we go downtown and we need some help, if that person behind that counter does not speak our language, there's an issue there.
Yeah, like today at work, I was coming down from my lunch and the vibe was off, as we say. And I asked my coworkers, hey, what happened? And they're like, oh, well, someone just left because they're going to lose their house. They went somewhere downtown to ask for help, and they were mistreated, and they were treated really badly. They were yelled at. They couldn't understand the language. So now we're going to do everything we can to help them, but it's very real that they might lose their house.
That just sucks. Something that they've worked so hard for, just to be going like that.
Yeah. And that's why I always try to treat people as nice as I can, even if I'm having a bad day. I always say, I'm not going to take out my bad day on other people.
Yeah.
Let me help you, and we're going to figure it out. And I always tell people, if I don't know how to do this, we're both going to learn here in real time.
Yeah. I told the same thing when people come to the podcast. I'm like, I have no idea how to do that, but let's figure it out together.
Yeah.
And you're still paying me. But that's awesome that you're there helping out the people that need the help, that feel lost, that don't know where to turn, but there's that office there. And they're hopeful. They come with their hopes.
Yeah.
And like, can you please help me? They lay it on your lap. And I'm glad that you're saying that you like helping them out.
Yeah.
You like being there for them.
I love solving problems.
Like a Rubik's Cube?
Oh, no, not those type of problems. No, but I always think there's a solution for everything. We might not like that solution, but it's there, and we're going to figure it out.
Okay, cool. So that was that job, right? So now, what was your next job after that?
My current job.
The
right
current
now.
job,
Yeah.
okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I went from the foundation of Little Village to working at our government office, at our 22nd Ward office in Little Village. I'm still there.
So what made you go there and not stay where you really liked it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I had learned everything I needed to learn from that area. And I always wanted to work in government. So I haven't said that right now, but I always wanted to work in government, and I did not know how or where, and then I met someone, our chief of staff, who's one of my besties now.
Okay.
And she also did CLF, so shout out to her.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I met her, and they were hiring someone, and she was like, hey, I've seen your work. I think you would be great. Why don't you apply? And I did, and I'm here now a year and a half later.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So is it different? Of course it's different. It's two different jobs, right? But is one harder than the other? How are you finding this? What's the feel now that you're in a different position, in a different office, kind of having a little bit more power than the other organization right now? How do you feel about this, and where's it going? Where your career is going in this place?
Yeah, I think the foundation prepared me for my current job. Learning how to deal with people, learning how to help, how to say we can't help you sometimes, and they're both hard, but in different ways. I think my current job, we see people every day, every single day, and we get yelled at every day. And that's very hard.
And English and Spanish.
And English and Spanish, yes, exactly. And so that's hard, because it takes a lot of energy to see people every day and to sit there. And like I said, sometimes we can't do a lot, and that's hard. That's hard.
Wow. I can just imagine, too, someone coming in. And it's usually because of their building or a house they live in or something like that, right? Or maybe like a street closure or crack sidewalks or something like that, right? Do you get those things?
Yeah, we do. And whatever it is, I've learned that it affects their quality of life. No matter how big or small it seems to us, it's affecting their quality of life. And they deserve to have a good quality of life. If the sidewalk is cracked, they might have tripped, and that affected them. If their trash can is broken, now there's rats that are going to accumulate. So that's quality of life.
Ooh, I know about those rats. I can't stand those rats.
No, neither can I.
So what do you do? What do you do? I got a quick question. It's kind of about me. What do you do when your trash can has a hole in it?
You call your ward office or 311 or input it on the app. There's a 311 app, and then you input rodent baiting, and someone should be out there in about 5 to 7 days.
Rodent baiting?
Rodent baiting. That's what it's called. Where they go and put
the traps or something like that, or
poison.
But are they going to replace? I want to talk about replacing the trash can.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, we can replace your trash cans, absolutely. That one does take a little longer.
Yeah.
But yes, you can get new trash cans.
I'm calling. I like nice things, and mine has a hole. It had a hole since I moved into the building.
No, you deserve a new one.
I want a new one. Actually, there's 3 of them. The 2 of them got holes. I'm like, no.
That one is called garbage cart maintenance.
Okay. See, she's God sent her to me today because I was looking at that garbage can. I was like, I want a new one, and here you are telling me what to do to get a new one. That's awesome. So you're in CLF. So tell us about your experience in CLF.
Oh my God, I have learned so much. I thought I was doing everything right, and I thought I was like the greatest leader, and I've learned that there was definitely room for improvement, and there's always going to be room for improvement because we learn something new every day.
So what was your best, if you could put down your best class session that you have gone to?
I think my favorite one was when we learned that we have to put everything on our calendars.
That's a good
And you
one.
have to account for parking time, traffic, how far is it? I was like, in my head, I'm the type of person that can get there everywhere in 20 to 30 minutes. And that's not true, obviously.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
It's in my head. I don't know why. But from CLF, I learned that that's not true. And I need to be more organized about my time.
so are you late sometimes?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Thank
Ever
you,
since that
CLF.
class, right? Ever since that class. Thank you, Alex.
Yes. Shout out to you, Alex and Brad.
Right, yeah, that's awesome. So is there no other class that you say it's on that you could think back and say, yeah, I really needed that class, other than the scheduling one, or a class you found interesting that you never knew before?
I think I found the grant making one really interesting because working from nonprofit, I always saw how to apply for grants, what that process was, but it was really interesting to see the way funders view that process.
How did that look like? Let the people know what that looked like, because I actually was supposed to be there and I didn't show up because something happened. But how did that look like, learning about grants?
Grants are out there and we have to look for them.
So if you're a business, right, and you need some funding, right, and you can't have the funding, you don't have the funding in your bank account. So of course, grants are something that the government or an organization gives for free, right? How do you obtain them?
You gotta look for what you need and then apply for that. And then it's always nice to reach out to them and see what else you can do on your end to make sure that that application ends on their table.
You know, I'm testing your knowledge, right?
It's here, so.
That's awesome. So that was one of the classes. Okay, so let us know about a fun time you had with CLF. Something fun.
I think our retreat.
You guys had a retreat?
We had a retreat
I
before.
did not know about this retreat. Alex?
Uh-oh, sorry.
Jermaine, Jeremiah?
Yeah, we had a retreat before we started the classes.
Uh-huh.
We went, I can't remember where we went, but it was here in Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And it was nice. We stayed at a hotel. We met everyone.
Uh-huh.
We talked about ourselves and we got to know each other. And then we went bowling, and that was really memorable.
Oh, I was there. I was there.
See, then you were there.
Yeah, I was there. You went to that.
Disregard, Alex.
Disregard. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We went to that church, that big church,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an awesome weekend.
That was.
I had the opportunity. They gave me the opportunity to be there as well, and I was like, wow. I want to come to these things that they do, because it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Then we all got together and I didn't bowl, but you guys bowled. I think I was just eating. Most of the time I think I was just eating, but I watched you guys just joining each other as leaders in the community, and that was just awesome, because most of you guys are pretty young, you know what I'm saying? And you guys are actually making a dent in what's missing on the west side of Chicago. And you guys really want to not just make a dent, you want to make a pothole of goodness to give people, and I'm seeing that, and most people don't see that. And actually, before CLF, I didn't see that, but now being around CLF and seeing you and everyone else that's a fellow, you guys got love for the West Side.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, for the West, and I love that. I love that. So, where do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years?
Ooh, great question. Personally, I see myself owning properties. Maybe kids. Maybe that's more like 10 years.
Okay.
But a dream I have now is being the executive director of an organization in Little Village or in a Latino community and bringing those resources that we need. That's where I see myself.
And you know how to go about that.
I'm learning.
Okay.
I'm learning.
I'm glad, because these things are you're doing your past, and the work you've done in your past in CLF and working now for the aldermen. Yeah, you're building it. You're actually doing what you want to do, and sometimes that's hard for people to do. Either they don't know where to go and start, or they don't have the finance to. And I believe the CLF is helping you with this to get to where you want to be. And I can see it. I can't wait to go one day to the little village and see your poster somewhere on the wall. You need help? Come to her. Yes. She's around the corner next to the pasarita. That's awesome. So you did mention kids, but you didn't mention marriage.
Oh, for sure.
See, your parents are watching this. You said nothing. You're probably gonna be like, she said nothing about marriage. She said kids.
Like, wrong. We raised her wrong.
I told you, beauty salon.
No. Oh yeah, I would love to get married.
Plus, your boyfriend is actually working at the last place you worked at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a great connection there, and both of you guys just becoming this power couple in the community. Because I'm thinking about, I'm seeing it. I'm like, he's already working in the community like that. You're working in the community like that, and then you guys get together in a marriage and a family. Well, not in the community. Wow, the things you guys could do. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, if you had a superpower, this is the last question. What would it be?
Oh my God, that's a good question. Probably fly.
Fly.
Yeah, I love traveling and I love being on airplanes. So I feel like I would love flying.
So where would you fly to?
All over the world.
That's a good one.
First I would go to Turkey.
You go to Turkey?
Yes.
What about Turkey you like so much?
Turkish novelas.
Dude, you and my mother. You and my mother and my sister that passed. Just in love with Turkey. What's with the novelas too?
Oh my God, they're amazing. They're realistic. Sometimes they don't have happy endings, and sometimes in life you don't have a happy ending. So it's refreshing to see.
Yeah, because if you watch the Spanish novelas, there's always a happy ending at the end, right?
You know what's going to happen.
They're going to fall in love. They're going to, get on their horse and go down the beach. And that was it. But Turkish is not like that?
No, it's not.
It could be tragic.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's so many that have tragic endings, and not to be morbid, but I kind of love that. Because like I said, you don't always get your happy ending. Sometimes your ending looks different. And like I said, it's refreshing to see that. And that's why I love Turkish novelas.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping and praying that you have a great ending with you, your family, with your boyfriend, hopefully fiance, and then the husband, then kids. Pops, I'm looking for you. I'm looking out for you, puppy. I'm hoping for that.
Me too.
So I want to say thank you for coming down today to the Community Leaders Podcast. This was awesome.
Thank you so much. I was nervous, but this was not bad at all.
There you go.